What's up, Philly? Philly for life. Good afternoon.
All right. I got just said, what's the name? What am I supposed to do
Hold
over here?
on, it should be kicking in 1 second.
Okay.
I gotta
Okay.
find it. Let me go find it myself on here. As soon as I find it, Shantae done tapped in.
Oh.
Okay, you don't. Hold on, let me come over
My
here in front.
family is the family hanging. Oh, they've been waiting. They've been waiting since Sunday. So I gotta make sure that I know. Okay, touch that. All right. All right. Cool. All right. Well, hey, family, good afternoon. Good to see y'all. Glad you're here, brother Gray. We glad you're here. Appreciate it. Appreciate it. Miss Ferris. All right. Oh, I was just in Chicago a couple of weeks ago.
I
Yeah.
see Miss Beverly Biggs Levy done tapped in.
Oh,
Good
good
afternoon.
good afternoon. And I would, if this is the person running for third ward, right?
It is.
Now, please, if you have anything that we can, please tap in, send a message, whatever. That works for me. So, you gonna start? You want to start?
I mean, this your hour. However you want to
Okay.
do it.
All right. So I've been noticing some of the disturbances that are going on in council, right, or at council.
Right. Right.
I'm gonna go back and give y'all a bit of history, right?
Hmm.
And I'm not sure if a lot of people know this. There may be a few people that do. Um, this city was one of the cities that started off a lot of stuff, right? When we came in 1967, right downtown at council, Flint Flint City of Flint headquarters, um, when they had their housing strike. My father, Mr. McGee, who's a mayor, um, and a few other men in the community were the ones that led the housing strike situation, so that we can have fair housing here in the city and no longer have to be redlined to certain areas. And they did a peaceful protest. And I think that what's going on right now, and I'm bringing it up, so I'm gonna go back and forth, so y'all need to follow, right? So let me go back a bit further. There was one time that this city had over 400,000 people in it, and we talked about that. Almost 200,000 students going to school. You know, four or five different high schools, and that's where the high schools came up in the '60s. Because the big high school here was Flint Central, which was built in 1919, and then Old Northern was built in 1923. Could have my dates wrong, but you know. So then, because of the influx and the need of people, it was important to continue to build and expand. The plants came here, people could get jobs, all of those stuff. The black middle class in America and all of this country was started here, right? And I'm not saying things don't have to be peaceful, but when things start to become anarchic, like what we're having here, it it's important that we. Yep, I remember hearing my father, who passed away in 1989, talk about Mr. Hightower. I know. Yep, I know. We're probably somewhere related. um, so, good evening, Mr. Smith. Um, it's okay to to protest. It's okay to be disgruntled. It's okay to be voice an opinion. This is supposed to be, which we know this is not, um, a democratic or democracy where people can voice their opinions. I think a lot of the issues that we're having here now is the fact that the people that are supposed to represent, right? You got representatives on the council, and nobody's being heard. Now, I'm going to go back to what we talked about last week or the last time we were together, when you have less than 500 voters come out for the third ward, right? 165 for this person, 165 for this person. Somebody got 20 votes. Somebody got 2 votes. Somebody else got like maybe 100 votes. So you got to write around 500 people, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if you have 500 people and you have a ward that in that particular area, maybe 5 or 6 or 15,000 people you represent, that's a poor voter turnout to elect somebody that you want to have to represent you and speak for you. You're right.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. Flint does have a very significant civil rights history across the board from 1937 sit-down strike all the way up until today. So even with what we see that happened at the council meeting where people are angry because they're not being represented properly, we have a right to do that. People have a right to be upset. I'm a teacher. And if I'm not teaching your children, people have a right to come and say, "Hey, look, man, you're not doing what I need you to do for my child." But you have to be involved too. Right? So you can't tell me as a parent, unless you're involved, that you're not doing my child right. And I need y'all to correlate this to what's going on around here as well. You can't tell me I'm not doing your child right if you're not involved in the child's life on all levels.
Mm.
See how the correlation is? So if the parent is supposed to be the representative, if you're going to be representing me, then I need you to make sure that you represent, you hear me as well. And if I don't like the fact that you're quiet, then that's your fault. Because if we voiced our concerns to you as a representative, then we need you to be the voice for us there. So the anarchy that people see is not about council being out of order. It sounds like there's nothing going on at all. Okay, so help me out because I haven't been down there. I'm telling y'all.
I'm still confused.
Okay, so he's been down there every day. He won't even let me, hey man, come on down. We have a council meeting. He won't even do that. Now I'm out of school. Tomorrow my last day. So y'all put it on Uncle Mick about making sure I get down at least to one meeting. Monday? All right, what time?
I think it's 5 o'clock.
5 o'clock.
Between either 4:30 or 5 o'clock.
All right.
But I'll let you know.
Okay, so now y'all heard him say that. So he gonna be on tomorrow for the morning bump. So he got to let me know. If he don't let me know.
No, I promise I'm gonna let you know.
Okay. And
I don't know how long you gonna be there, because once you get up there and you see how they disrespect, you know how you'll see.
Okay.
You'll see.
Okay. So Miss Big says there's 1,800 people in her third ward. All right. So there should have 1,800 people out there voting and not 500. That means 1,300 people didn't care. So therefore, 1,300 people can't have complaints. I'm going to say it one more time. If you're not involved in your child's education, all the way across the board, you cannot come and say anything to me about how I teach or what I teach. If I call the parent and say, I need your help with your child's behavior so we can teach and teach better and be more effective, and your child's behavior is kind of sort of causing issues in the classroom, my expectation is that you help me deal with that. Now I'm old school. Old school. Hey man, let me meet you outside when we go out here and we gonna talk. But unfortunately, that's been taken away because what that does is leads to some other things, right? Prison, typically. Because now I got this out of order child, and either I'm gonna medicate him, which is gonna cost somebody, or child gonna end up going to prison, do something crazy because you ain't put no standards and no order in that child's life from the beginning. Okay, so you don't put no order in, we can't work together and we can't collaborate and understand how this goes. As we're talking the same thing about the council, we can't collaborate. So then you can have disorder and chaos. And people are upset because certain things aren't taking place and getting done, and they have a right to be upset. They have a right to be upset. And the protest should not be. I'm not saying some of the stuff I saw I don't agree with, but that's some people's choice about how they're able to get the attention of the persons in charge. I get that. I personally would not have gone on about it that way, but that's me. That don't mean that I wouldn't put out flyers. I remember there was a time when after the Jenna 6 situation happened in New Orleans, and the local Klan was talking about they was going to come around here and going to protest by the NAACP office, and I'm around the corner from there. I called a few brothers that I knew from the Nation of Islam. I said, let they show up, but they got something to deal with. So I started making paper flyers by hand, went to Staples around the corner when it was in Burton, made some copies of it and started putting it on people's house. They said it was going to show up on a certain day. When the NAACP was out, we was waiting. They didn't show up.
The NAACP didn't show up?
No, the NAACP had left and went to New Orleans.
Oh, went to the Genesis.
Yeah, but and then I was told, you shouldn't have done that. No, sweetheart, you're not going to tell me not to protect my neighborhood. I don't care nothing about what your position is. This is my neighborhood. You don't live here. You just have an office here. We were ready if they decided to show up. We had table and chairs. We want to talk. Not that I'm with your position, but you're going to tell me the reason why you think you have a right to be a white supremacist and say something to me in this neighborhood and you don't live here because you got wind that the president and the council people or whatever, or board of directors for the NAACP, the local chapter, was going to help with the protest in Jenna about those young people that got railroaded down there. You come up in here, we got something for you.
Yeah, that Jenna 6 was terrible.
Right.
But I mean, now I this what I don't like. I'm just gonna be honest with. I don't like with the council people that is pushing the mayor's agenda through. And I'm finna get right back. What's this? Paul Hightower, thanks for tapping in. What kind of watches y'all got? Hold on, I got this right here.
Yeah, okay.
Don't worry about it, I got him.
Oh, so he just on some silly stuff. Ain't nobody got time.
Yeah,
we got too much stuff going on in the world for us people to be on here being silly. I ain't got it, bro. If you don't come with something else, okay.
I got him out
of there. Yeah, if you don't come with something right, don't come in here with no stupid stuff, bro. Because you'll get a lesson. Trust and believe.
I gave him 24 hours to think about what he did.
Yeah, get out of here with that stupid stuff. Nobody got time. We in a crisis, bro. I don't have time for comedy. I ain't got time for laughing and joking. I ain't got time for none of that, right? I'm mad that I missed a turn taking my boy home and couldn't get to what's going on yesterday.
Yeah.
But I'm out of school tomorrow, so anything pop off, I'm there. Right?
Oh, for sure. Okay,
right.
Melinda Carter say righteous protests don't have geographical boundaries.
Absolutely.
For sure.
Right. Absolutely. So now here's the deal. I just see somebody said they stealing money. Not a problem. Got what you're saying, but you also have to be able to prove it so that you can do something about it. What's other ways, right? What are other ways that we can? And I'm not saying that protest has to be peaceful. I'm not saying that because if you're living in chaos, then you want some answers to the
Right.
chaos, right? You want some answers to the chaos. And what people are asking for, begging for, pleading for, are answers for the reason why certain things are not being done.
Oh, facts. I mean, like, I get exactly what Just Blaze saying. Cause I'm gonna
Yeah,
go with this. Last night he sent two budgets up. He sent the dummy budget that was 68 million. That would have had the city in 4.2 million dollars in debt. Then he sent, and Jonathan Jared caught this. He sent the real budget up. That was the city of Flint. It was an additional 11.2 million. So when you add it together, it was, I think, what was it, 13? Yeah, it was 11 million because it was two. Yeah, it was 13.4 million.
yeah.
How do you have a budget 13 point? And this what I get frustrated with it. I got to say this to the president of the ENA board, William Harris, and I'm not being biased. As an individual, I think he might be a good brother. I believe he could be a good brother. But when you coming down there, you got to pass the budget. Then you worrying about the unbuzzed woman, Shasta Little. Y'all the ones fired her on live. Came out of executive session, fired the woman. But now, and the mayor just cut the budget for the unbuzzed, and she's not even. They stripped her from the ombudsman. I think she a coordinator or
Right.
whatever. I don't know, but she doing all the work of the ombudsman. But this is the stuff. But when you see these people coming down there, you need to pass the budget. We breaking the. I get so sick of them when they say they breaking the charter. Hey, William Harris, when you going along with that ambassador BS stuff, that's breaking the charter because that's not in the charter.
It's not in the charter, right?
You know that they pick and choose and what it is, and this what is so disrespectful. I watch people come down there. You got to pass the budget. Pass a budget that's 13.4 million. You got the city in deficit. What have you been doing with them? To me, I'm gonna be honest with you. I think Neely is the emergency manager that was being portrayed as a mayor, because there's no way when Dr. Karen Weaver left, she left a $24 million fund balance with surplus. However it go, I might be saying it wrong.
Mm-hmm.
But you come in and blow through that, and now you get 94 million. Y'all had to put the ARPA money, the 40 million that was left, in the fund in the general balance. Are you serious?
And nothing's been done for the residents. Let's not even talk about the water crisis. Let's not talk about the payment for the water. But what about just the general come out and say, look, I don't know, we doing the best we can, but I want to come and talk. I'm going to tell you, I'm going to go back to, again, Jack Miner, but I'm going to, once again, when I talk to somebody, I can't remember, one of my brothers, and he got back to when we had Miss Galloway as our commissioner, right? As our, what do we call her?
Council person.
Council person. She come knocked on my door, and we had a nice long talk. So then what happens? Do we have to wait again? Like, so if stuff's not happening, right?
Right.
Stuff's not happening. Okay, let me go back to Miss Galloway first, because I'll get ahead of myself. Let me slow down. So we had a nice long talk, couple hour and a half talk. And every time we see each other, we speak. That's my sister now. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Right. Because even whatever her aspirations were or are, it was still, we were cordial. I haven't seen, I'm going to say this again, I haven't seen anybody out. Our council person, I've seen at the store a couple of times, I've spoken. Just general, hey, how are you? This guy come with anybody. If
Right.
I'm going to tell you, if you and I are on the telephone and I go to the store, I'm going to run across some people I know and I'm going to stop and be, I mean, bro, you on the phone with everybody. And you speak to everybody. Just general conversation. I ain't trying to get at you. I just spoke. And you act like you was afraid. And I get the other part where people are careful, but what's wrong with just speaking? What's wrong with just speaking?
Right.
Because you've already shown me that you're only going to go to certain people that you're only going to go to certain people that you want to deal with. I'm not asking you to deal with me. I just spoke to you. If you just can't have some general human concern for other people, you definitely don't need to be in that position
But
because
don't.
you're not a leader. You're not a servant. Go ahead, my brother.
No. You telling the truth. That's what I was trying to say. You hit it right on the nose. They don't have thick skin. They get mad. Let me show you how crazy this is, and they ain't show really that what they have started. First, they was letting the people cuss the day before. What we had Thursday, Tuesday, they was letting the people cuss. They can get it off their chest. Then tomorrow, come Wednesday, you want to change the no, you can't do that now. We can take it back. So what you saying is for money, for you can get the people behind you to push that money, you'll let people say what they want to say.
Well, what you do in the first place is say, look, this is a meeting. It's a public meeting. This is what I expect. I know that you are going to be upset. And I know there are many things that you're upset about. But first and foremost, your council person needs to know what the hell you mad at. Other than that, don't say shit to me. And yes,
Right.
this is not Sunday, so I can get off a little bit. So that's how you handle that. But if you have real council people will have these meetings with the residents that they're supposed to represent. Get to them, find out what it is that you need, find out what it is that you can do. That's when you go back to your council meetings, and then from there, you can get things accomplished. People are pissed off because they don't see nothing happening. I'm not even talking about the water crisis, which went from 60 million now to 53 million. And you can still turn the water on. And let me real quick jump in there. Pastor Gaddis, thank you very much. We appreciate you for being on there. And Mrs. Gaddis, we appreciate you having Pastor Gaddis and allow him to be hanging on here with us. We appreciate that.
Yeah, Wanda Gaddis, thanks for tapping in.
Thank you very much. Okay? So now, you can't tell me that I can let steam off. Damn it, do your job.
That show you the craziness. They were so, well, we gonna let them people say this and that. And then just to pass the budget, and then you gonna go back to how you was?
No, bump the budget. The budget has got absolutely nothing to do that I have some sort of relationship with you. Because if I have a relationship with you, then therefore you can go ahead on. I don't care if you skim off the top. How many times order at the bottom? As long as you're taking care of business and taking care of us as residents, that's all that matters. Mm-hmm. And you're not doing that. So when people come down there and they're pissed off because you're not taking care of us as I'm a teacher. My job from 8 o'clock to 4 o'clock is to take care of my babies, whether they're in second grade or whether they're in sixth grade. That's all that matters. That's my job. It's not my job to worry about. I can't worry about parents because you ain't showing up. You haven't shown up. So when they talk about how many hats we wear a whole bunch of hats during the course of a day. Whether somebody nose bleeding, whether somebody nose running, whether somebody's crying, whether somebody didn't eat, whether somebody need this, you got paper, pencil. We got to worry about all of that.
Facts.
So as a council person, you're supposed to get the pulse of the people that you represent. And if you're not doing that, get the hell out the way.
And that's what I'm saying. Some of them council people that I was listening to last night, I was like, what the hell? Pass the budget. We not making no cuts.
Okay, my glasses done got hot, brother.
Yeah.
Take my glasses. They steaming up.
Yeah, they said pass the budget.
How the hell you gonna pass the budget when you haven't told the people that, hey, we got you? And how is it passing the budget? Okay, I know you got police operations, you got all the operations of the city. I get that. But then after you take care of that, what the hell are you doing for me?
Yeah, but this is what is crazy. $13.4 million in debt.
How?
And then in the lion, like Candace, now I'm gonna say this, Clyde did stop it. Clyde said, hey, no, I disagree with what you said. Y'all did have a meeting. See, Candace, and to me, it's like they trying to balance the budget out. I mean, trying to make it like it was a balanced budget. Y'all sat up here and let this mayor send up two budgets. One was the fake one and one was the real one.
Oh, okay. Let's
And
say one was adjusted.
yeah, and then nah, that one was $13.4 million. It was 11 more million in debt than the first one. The first one he sent up there 68 was only supposed to been 4.2 million in the hole. Then somehow when he sent the other one, you got to tack on another 11 million point two to the two. I mean, to the 4.2.
So they don't know how to do. I know, Mr. Jared. I used to work with him over at my.
Do
So I
you
know he know numbers.
do you understand the CFO? And we had a lady to come in and talked about the CFO. Said he had got fired for Alma City. He was forced to resign. Was forced to resign. Maria Carter, good evening, cuz. I mean, was forced to resign. And they said, he was a sexist because some lady, I'm not verbatim, I'm not saying the verbatim, but I guess I might be saying it wrong, that she was trying to see what her rate, what her raise or what she make, and he didn't let her know for 10 years. And yeah, they let him go. And the lady, she came up there and spoke. She said, y'all can act like that this man don't know what he doing. She said he good at hiding money. You got a CFO in the finance chair. I feel like should be relieved of her duties as of ASAP, as soon as possible. When you sat up there and was finna pass a BS budget through, that he was gonna bring the real one up there. Pop got good
Oh, yo,
evening.
we got the whole family
Yeah,
on now. Oh
yeah.
Lord, here we go.
But that I'm dead serious, brother Roberts. The finance chair should not be the finance chair no more.
So. Okay, see, I need a flow chart of the foolishness that we have going on here. You got this person here, that this. You got all these people.
Yep.
Didn't you say somebody was making over $200,000 one time
No,
down there?
that was. I think it was 100 or something. Which I don't. The mayor didn't raise his budget up, and I don't know why. But no, I said it was with his bonuses. No, I think they said it was Clyde with his bonuses 200 some thousand.
How?
Me
So
too.
then there should be flourishing, right? I get the fact you're knocking down homes, you're doing all of these other things, but then if you got that type of money, that's Grandpa got us on there. Oh my goodness. So okay, I'm gonna be nice. No, he done heard it before. You know how it go. Um, but my big thing is if you're taking care of people,
Right,
then you don't have these outbursts. When
right.
people feel that they're not being taken care of, you can't arrest me for being angry about you not doing your job.
And Miss D, I'm not for sure. Don't hold me on. I'm just saying what they were saying with benefits. I could be wrong. It might not be Clyde, but that's what that's allegedly. Don't put a fact on that. 'Cause I ain't got time to be coming on here tomorrow doing a damn apology hour again.
No,
I'm
heck
about
no.
done.
Because tomorrow I'll be listening.
Yeah, no,
Instead,
let's don't do
instead of having
that.
class,
Yeah,
I'll
let's
be
don't do
listening.
that. But yeah, I'm not for sure. But I know certain people is getting paid that don't make no sense though.
And now, again, if you're taking care of business, we don't care that you're getting paid. So that once again, I'm not clear about if my representative knows what the needs are where I live at.
She said she do.
Well, I ain't seen her.
I'm just going by what she said. She
I ain't
she
seen
said
her.
she do what's right for her ward.
Whoa, okay. Well, we
That's
ain't
what
seen.
she
I ain't
say.
seen her over there.
I
I ain't
know
seen her
that.
over there since election time.
I believe you on that because I see how she deal with certain people when they come. Like when she be looking at our elders, get away from me. Don't
But you
come
can't
by
do.
me.
You got to be your job as a representative. Don't come up and shake my hand and kiss the baby when you want to get elected. Then throw the baby in the trash and kick me off a cliff. Because I
Facts.
promise you, once I climb over the cliff, you got something else to deal with, and I mean that.
Man, listen. For this to be going on, to hear that $13.4 million a budget is like a deficit is crazy work. That the CFO wasn't doing this job, maybe it was, but we know the finance chair wasn't reporting back to somebody.
Miss,
We're reporting back to the rest of her members,
right,
board members.
right. Miss D laughing at me. Right. So, but the resolution is that hey, Okay, Miss Talbert.
Oh, I see what she said. See, she
Okay,
said she
put that
trying
up
to.
there.
You want me to read or you want it?
Go ahead.
She
I ain't
said,
got my
"Hey,
glasses on
I
right
got you."
now. I
She
can't
said,
see
"Hey,
nothing.
brother." She said, "Hey, Mickey and brother Elliott. I tried to point the 13 million out on 526, but council was only discussing the $4 million deficit. JJ finally figured it out last night. It was different. See, you see now. You see what I'm
Right,
saying?
right,
So you
right.
have to look at the finance chair and the CFO along with the mayor." And along with his administration, what was y'all hiding out? When Tanya said a simple thing, we wanted to have about the ACO. She wanted to have a conversation. They forgot to mention it was a call for the question. This at the time the mayor was having his 5 votes because he had down there 5 or 6 votes his first 6 years.
Mm-hmm.
Irma Shaw, good evening. So I'm trying to figure it out. Like what the finance chair been doing. She need to be relieved of that title. There's no way you don't know what's going on. And then if you let this slide by, why are you the finance chair?
No, because you shouldn't be. What are you spending the money on? And now, if you see major improvements in the city, I got it. They did their stuff down by the dam. That might cost the city money. Get
Right.
that. I see you knocking down houses. That's supposed to be from the land bank. Got that.
Hmm.
But in only certain roads that we see get fixed, get that too. That's a little bit. You ain't spent $13 million on that. Because some of that money had to come from somewhere else.
Right.
Okay. So now, people are allowed to protest.
Right.
I'm not clear unless somebody in the council is being attacked. Why is it that, first of all, what council should do is like, we got ground rules for us. You can't cuss in here. We don't want that. Which means that I might get fired up and then be like, okay, I got
But,
to reconstruct my speech because I'll go there
but
and it's not anger, it's passion. Go ahead.
but how can you say when the council they say don't cuss when you see the council members and cussed out other people and residents?
Okay.
See that you know
That's right.
yeah.
That's a
Yeah,
double edged sword. I get that.
yeah.
Right.
They saying don't do this. Liddell will come right by. She done told the person walking down, motherfucker, get out my way. Coming through the heart, walking through. She elbowed me in the back. See, these the games that they play. See, Liddell do this and she be the first one hollering decorum, but you never catch her. Now she'll push you and all. Like when Liddell come, oh man, Liddell, if it ain't no camera on, oh Liddell is skunky,
Mm.
skunky.
So is the issue the fact that people are angry and you're not doing anything to assuage their anger to make it so that the anger goes away? And then what do you do in order to make people be less angry, to be less hostile, to be because one thing, I'm gonna go back to one of my teachers, Mr. Cleve say, no, you gotta sit here and listen and pay attention and you gotta be cool.
Oh, they don't want to do that. That's the problem right there. See, it's a lot of grudges being held. You know what I'm saying? As you can
Mm-hmm.
see, for me, it's like, and I hate to say this, man, because I don't want to be. To me, it's like everybody that's coming up there speaking from the mayor. To me, and it's my humble opinion. I can be wrong. If I am, I will say it. They getting something. It's that friends, brothers, and in-laws. Cause you cannot make me. Then with Job Corp closing down, now they want to get Job Corp $25,000.
But they can't do that because that's federal. So
That's what I'm
that
saying.
whole land is quote unquote supposed to be federal because that's a federal facility.
But it's game in that though. We
Yeah.
just don't know what's the politrick in that right there. Like, oh, these different people gonna get the money for housing these kids for this certain amount of time. Like, are you fucking? That's what be having me so frustrated when you saying this man done had 94.7 million dollars and squandered it.
Yeah, because you could have balanced the budget with 14 million and still had 80 to play with. And you can't. Here's the thing about budgets, right? Even if you look at your own household expenses as a
Right,
business, you know whether you're gonna have money at the end of the month or whether you're not. Right?
right.
Okay. Can I see I'm gonna be good because we got pastor and family on there. But that's some bullshit if you don't have no see, I was better than I was gonna say, so I caught it. I caught it. So let me apologize for my passion, because that's what it is. So if you're not following the budget from, you can't wait until the end of new fiscal year and you've known that you had a deficit.
He been playing like this. Eric May said they haven't passed a balanced budget since he been in there.
And Eric been gone for over a year.
That's what I'm saying. He ain't passed the ballot. He might have passed the first one as a balance, but after that, there ain't been no balanced budget.
And you said that he was left with $24 million when
Oh, 20 million from Karen Weaver, Dr. Karen Weaver.
Yeah, Dr. Weaver, when she
Yeah.
left, she had a $20 million deficit.
No, plus.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I mean, surplus. I'm
Yeah.
sorry. You're right.
And he squandered that. And then you got the city in the whole 13.4, and if it wasn't for no opera money.
How, man? Now, I also understand the and I don't know who the players are.
Right.
Even though the one young lady that came on here a couple of weeks ago kind of sort of gave us an idea, talking about Mott and a few other
Right.
people that are the background players. But if you're stationed here and your foothold is here, why would you want to put a stranglehold on the city? And if you're the mayor with this large group of people that you have running the city, which shouldn't really take a whole bunch of people,
Right.
then if you're following the budget from June 1st, or no, wait a minute, it should be June 30th, July 1st to June 30th. If you're following the budget all the way up this time, and you ain't got but a couple more weeks before the fiscal year ends, then you should know what's going on every week. Because your job, I don't care nothing about talking to people this week. This week we got to make sure we take it. What's the budget look like?
Right.
What's the budget look like?
Right.
How are we taking care of people? And what the issue that I have, again, is if you're a council person, your ass should be talking to me and the people here. Our council person don't know what the hell's going on where I live at. Because I ain't seen her. And she a damn lie. And I don't give a shit if she come see me. Because I'll tell you a damn lie. Last time I saw you was in Meyer back in March.
Yeah.
And that was you barely spoke. But yet the time before that, I saw you during the election over at the church. Oh, I can't wait to work with you. No, you don't work with me because I ain't the one. I ain't him.
Yeah.
Because what you going to get is you're going to get earful every moment about what the hell you not doing. So therefore, you can't get, or you going to call the police on residents that are irate, that things are not being taken care of? A teacher would be fired.
Facts.
They wouldn't wait till the end of the school year to fire me if I was out of order. Yeah, oh, we got too many issues with you, Mr. McCants. You got to go today. Get your shit and get out.
It's right. How could you come, and especially dealing with budgets? You mean to tell me your CFO come down and you got to write a letter to, you got to write it on paper, send an email to the mayor. I'm not finna give you my question for you can already prep yourself an answer.
Hell no.
Bring your ass down to the city council for we can get to talking what we do. Okay, you don't want to come down there? Send your minion down there. But we finna drill him and get all these answers. We don't get these answers. Now, it went from trying to figure out how to get down to save $4 million to now they got to try to save, if the city only brought in, what was it, 62 million.
And okay, so if it was 62 million, right? If you only
64, my bad. Yep.
You brought in 64 million. And then you had other monies that come in from the state and federal, right? Is that true? That's right?
Yeah.
I don't know how much I'm just asking about, because I'm not worried about dollars. I'm talking about process. If you made 64 million from just city stuff, and then you got state and federal monies, and that's how I go, right?
Yeah. But they not even guaranteed to get some of the federal money they put in for.
Yeah, but still, what? Don't even worry about that. Worry about what you brought in.
Yeah.
You work and I work, right? I work every day. I don't miss time. If I'm not taking care of my budget on a daily basis, looking at my budget, Looking at, okay, well, my daughter may call, or my son may need, or my brother may need me, or my nephew may call me, or whatever.
I
I'm
understand.
supposed to be able to take care of that and cover my expenses as well. And if I want to go somewhere, I'm covered because I'm covered.
Well, you got to blame the CFO and the mayor on this one because how is your funds not together? How is we study doing this and you bringing these people these budgets where they don't have no choice but to pass it? Because if they don't, this gonna happen. Like, but how can you keep blowing money like this? Like you got a blank check.
Well, do they have a blank check?
Mm-mm.
Well, so if you don't have a blank check, then that means the administration is ineffective and they need to go. And you don't need to wait.
Facts.
So there's no need of waiting. Why are we waiting? Because we have to wait because the charter says so? Well, if they ain't follow the charter, then they could file a federal lawsuit to say, get them the hell out of there.
Facts.
All of them.
Facts.
Top to
Facts.
bottom. And Jonathan's my boy. He was the one crazy enough to convince me to get on the motorcycle when he was working over at Mott. Now, but if you ineffective, you gotta go. I'm not interested in no popularity contest. I don't give a damn about none of y'all. Because if you don't care and you ain't concerned about my children and my neighborhood, I don't need you.
That's the point that I'm saying. That's why I'm even saying with the mayor. When you look at his wife, the state rep, you writing $30 million to get one group $5 million to get $25 million to nonprofits. Who are these nonprofits going through? Allegedly, it's people in his administration that got nonprofits. Hell, allegedly, you got council people that roll with him got nonprofits. So who you think gonna benefit off of this?
So if a person has a nonprofit and they get something, then the other part about that is in the community in which those nonprofits are supposed to be active and working, what are you able to show? Excuse me. What are you able to show that you're effective in doing your goddamn job?
I've been waiting on that answer too. That's the $1 million question. Because Liddell gave herself a 25 and came back and got a 50.
Doing what?
I guess it was for Cyrus Park. I'm trying to see where the 75 went to.
The grass ain't cut, trash out there. Ain't no pavilions up. So what the hell? What the hell for? So then, so now, see, you getting ready to lead this to somewhere else. Is that leading it open because people are in positions to do other stuff for other groups of people?
That's my only beef with it. Like you've been saying, take care of the residents first.
Yeah, you take care of me. I don't care nothing about that money you get. If they was taking
care of the residents, I wouldn't be up here saying nothing. There would be no need for me to be going back and forth about this. But as long as people got to keep drinking dirty water, bathed in contaminated water, I'm going to be on talking about it.
Right. So, and that's the thing. So therefore, when you have this protest, you cannot be upset at the people that are protesting because you're not taking care of me. We elected you, even if it was just a few people, we elected you to take your ass up there and represent us. And you have not done so. I'm going to say it again. I've not seen my council person. Now, she may come to when I'm at work, whatever, but go ahead on, put it up, whatever you see. You see something.
Yeah, she said that's her cue. That was her question.
Okay.
She said, that's my question. Where the hell is the money? And why aren't there being audited receipts?
And those are the questions that should be asked even in the protest, right? We can sit here and talk about all of the other stuff that we may or may not like. But at the end of the day, if the budget is saying one thing and the show and tell ain't saying something else, that's a file a lawsuit. File a federal lawsuit.
Right.
Everybody should go flood the federal court downtown on Kearsley, is it on Kearsley, wherever it's at, and file a lawsuit.
Yeah, because y'all presented it, the mayor and his administration presented it two budgets. One was real, one was fake. One was $4.2 million short, and the other one was the real one. I'm guessing was a 13.4. That's not a coinky dink.
No, but I'm still trying to understand in a city of, let's say, 80,000, 90 to 85,000 people, why are you running a deficit?
Facts.
You talking about you need police cars and more police and this and that and other, but yet the young people ain't got nothing to do. So these dumbasses out here shooting and killing each other. God damn it, do something for them. That's
Right.
your job.
Right.
Do something for them. And I'm gonna say this too, folks gonna get a little upset. If you got a church home around here, you're responsible for helping too.
Facts.
We're all responsible. We're all responsible.
Facts.
We're all responsible.
Because it's getting out of hand. I mean, I don't think they understand where we at.
No, it's not that they don't understand. They don't give a damn.
Right.
As long as my kids straight, I ain't worried about them other kids.
Facts.
Meanwhile, those very same kids, like the ones in Georgia, out there trying to kick houses in, kick in somebody's door, and they get unalived because I'm 15, 16, and 18, and I'm out here out at 4 o'clock in the morning, and then you want to sue me? Yeah, let me step on my lawn and see what happens. You ain't suing me because your kid's out of order. But if those kids had something else to do and something to look forward to,
Facts.
that wouldn't happen.
And why they study saying, oh, these summer jobs we got, see, they got to cut their friends, brothers, and in-laws out. Heard something, but listen, I'm going to say this, and I'm going to be honest. If I had some of these nonprofits, if I can hire my kids, you don't think I'm going to hire my kids?
That's fine. Hire your kids. You're supposed to.
Yeah.
I don't have no issue with that.
Facts.
But hire some of them other kids too.
But see,
go ahead.
No, you're right. Now, I was going to say that's a fact.
Yeah. Don't sit around here and just hire my kids and then the other kids need some help. Even if you give them half of what they supposed to make, it don't matter. Give them something to do. Teach them some skills. Pull them off the street. We got, like I said, we live over there by Brennan Center. You don't even let kids come inside the damn center because you call it a senior center now. That's some bullshit. You're old enough to be able to teach these young people some skills. Use your skills. Kids out there playing basketball, they can't even come inside to get no damn water.
Diabolical.
That is insane.
And Michelle Smith said, and federal, that's AKA, and she said the federal judge blocked job courts closing in Memphis. Could have did the same thing
here. Could have did the same thing here. Could have did the same thing across the country.
Facts.
You're talking about minimally 25,000 kids, young people, because between the ages of 16 and 24. Right? And then I know over here, the one here in this city, I know probably 3/4 of the staff members. Because some of them work third and I know them. But most of them I know and have relationships with. It ain't no, hey, we going out to smoke a cigar and, kick it at the cigar joint. But it's, big bro, what's going on? Sis, how you doing? How's the family? We know each other enough for me to know them. So they could have done this if they wanted to. Department of Labor could have said, no, we're not going to do it.
Facts.
They could have said, no, we're not doing it because we're creating another workforce. That's what our job is.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
But if people are not going to get together to demand something from their council persons, we ain't got to go down there and protest. We ain't paying taxes. We're going to turn your stuff off. Okay, fine. We'll file a multi-billion-dollar lawsuit against the city. Every one of us, every resident. Can you imagine 80,000 multi-billion-dollar?
Facts.
Okay, I'm giving y'all something to do. 80,000 multi-billion-dollar lawsuits filed against the city.
And this, see what I'm saying? They said, I ain't trying to cut you off. That's a federal mandate. They blocked it here in Illinois too.
Right, so they blocked it by the state.
But you see how they was ready to give out, and then you got the president from the ENA board. We got to get 25,000.
25,000 ain't gonna do nothing for that place.
And the people here hurting. But see, that was to go to some organizations that was gonna say, well, we'll house the kids.
But here's the thing. There's plenty of places up and down Saginaw Street for that to happen. No, I don't. Well, I don't know whether they jumped the gun or not. Cause I know people that work there, and some of my family are students there, so I don't know. but it's a federal program, and right, it affects all Job Corps across the country. Based upon what he said do, what President Trump or whatever y'all call him said do.
Right.
And my thing is this: okay, we the Department of Labor. This is the reason why we have them. So we're gonna keep them, and therefore we're not closing down. Well, we'll shut
Right.
your budget down. Okay, then we'll shut down labor across the country.
Facts.
So no
Yeah.
trains, planes, automobiles, no nothing's moving.
And that's like even because I was talking to Brother Roberts, not the, something he said that makes sense. You got to boycott, but see, we got to organize. You
Man,
go to boycotting downtown. Don't spend like he said. Don't spend. I'm saying
yeah,
doing
you for
something
real.
small, local.
Yeah,
I'm not talking major, but you since they don't want it, since it's always a problem how we being treated, start boycotting stuff, and you'll start seeing because the dollar power only respect power.
we had the greatest example of a boycott in 1955. 381 days from December 1st till December 31st,
Right.
1955 to 1956, where people made a decision to not use the bus line that was run by the white racists down in Montgomery, Alabama.
Hmm.
But the issue is they didn't take that money and start their own bus line.
Facts.
And the issue is that they didn't take the money, and we decided because we wanted to be integrated into a burning house. And y'all better go back and check what I'm talking about. We wanted to be integrated into a burning house. We sold our bus lines and train lines that we had at one time in order to ride on somebody else's bus that made your ass sit in the back, or you couldn't get on. Even if you paid, you had to
Mm.
pay again because we wanted to sit on a bus with somebody else. I thought their seats were more comfortable than ours. And then with this new bullshit that they call a boycott, where the hell did the billions of dollars go that you said that we kept from them? Who the hell
Right.
got it? You just kept it in your pocket because
We
you
didn't
didn't go
get it.
shop? Because ain't nobody seen it. So y'all listen to a TV person, I ain't saying it right, wrong, whatever, but shit, he's straight. Him and his family straight.
Yeah, but how you? Let's just say this Al Sharpton calling for a boycott, and you had Pastor Jamal, Reverend Al Sharpton, and Pastor Jamal Bryant. What you really seeing this too? The older generation not ready to give it up, and the ones up under him, kind of like what you seeing going on here. You got the elders don't want to do the transition of really want to share where we can all eat together. This would happen in Flint, in my humble opinion. You had different factions wanting to be the bosses, wanted to be the shot callers. And what you did, you split it up. And to me, that's what it is like with Al Sharpton and Jamal Brown. You gonna boycott a Target. I mean, was it Walmart or Target?
Walmart, Target,
Okay.
Sam's, whatever it
You
was.
gonna boycott all of them, right?
Right.
But what they not gonna tell you is, don't you know Walmart them gonna sit down or Sam's them Jamal Bryant only doing something that benefit theyself? Al
That's
Sharpton benefit
That's what I'm
theyself?
saying. That's my point.
Yeah.
So therefore, if you're pointing out that they lost 16 or 15.7 to 16 billion dollars in that
Mm-hmm.
quarter, that's fine. But what happened to the money that we didn't give them?
Right.
Now, was it put in a pool or we just didn't go spend the money? If we didn't just go spend the money, that's different than saying, okay, well, we cost them some money, but what the hell did you get in return? Why the hell am I worried about working for somebody that don't want to be bothered with me?
Right.
We're insane, bro. We're crazy. We're sitting here wanting to go, oh, well, they took our jobs away so we could go work with them and we want to go back and work. That's insanity. Why would I want to eat at a table with somebody I know is going to poison me? Instead of opening up my own store. If you really want to talk about doing something, like you said, we ain't gonna go downtown. We're not going, oh, we're gonna have 4th of July fireworks. We got Juneteenth fireworks. No, we ain't doing that. I'm not going down there.
Right.
I'm not doing that. I'm not patronizing nobody down there until you get to understanding. Or better yet, guess what? Juneteenth and 4th of July, you get everybody walk up and down the street. We ain't going to none of your place. Get all the residents and their kids. We just gonna walk. You can wear your red, white, and blue, your red, black, whatever you do, however make you feel good, however you feel. But I'm not spending a dime. We gonna walk up and down the street. We're gonna go all the way down Saginaw. Turn around when we get to 6th Street or 7th Street down there, turn around, walk all the way back. We ain't spending no money down here. We ain't spending no money down here.
It ain't.
And then, but once again, y'all got something else to do. You got federal lawsuits. You want a peaceful protest? Cool, no problem. But I'm not waiting until the next election in order to get trash out. Take the trash out.
Nah, that's what's crazy right there. That's why it's so important when you get people in. Because, like I said, I was listening to, like I say, the councilwoman in the 7th Ward. Boy, she just listening to her now. She look foolish now when she's saying that our job is to pass the budget, if to make the mayor look good. What about that $13.4 million deficit that you was just finna pass through that y'all been sugarcoating? Because the mayor had his 5 or 6 votes the whole time. It wasn't till now that he finally got to negotiate. And you see them down there panicking. They don't know what to do. Well, let me see if I could buy this person off. I'm just saying allegedly. Let me talk to this person and say, you come down to the mayor's office. I love when they said, no, we not doing no business down in your office. Come up to the chambers and we'll talk about it.
Which is righteous, right. Right.
Then you got Candace saying, Liddell, Mayor Weaver wasn't there. I guess she called Tanya. I came to budget hearing. And came to council. And I remember that because I was down there. You know, much as I be talking junk, I be talking junk. I ain't gonna lie on that woman and say that I didn't see that woman at that council. Right. I can tell you that plenty of times. I seen Dr. Weaver at that council.
Okay. So let me address this. Was that Miss Talbert? Miss Talbert, the reason why we lost the black company, we had black companies because we didn't have a choice. But the reason why we lost black companies is because when we were saying, it was said that we could go and ride other buses, we lost them because of that. Because if we had to continue to patronize our own, we would have been able to buy buses. You had people fix, but I'm going to tell you what, you want to see how people operate? Go to Africa, and I've been to Africa a couple times, and I'm not bragging, but see how they'll car won't start. We'll start on the side of the road. We're going to make this boy work. We'll pull our tools out and make it work. That's innovation. But because we figured that we are now can move in a different direction, that's really the bigger reason why we lost buses. We lost that bus line or several bus lines. It's because we could go over here and ride their buses now. But you're right. I agree with that as well.
Nah, because I'm like, and before we get off, I want to say this because I'm looking what my brother Marcus Fielder said. He said all protests are peaceful, but can't blame one individual for acts of others who go off script unless you have a concrete proof. Now I'm gonna say this: what happened at council?
That's my point.
Now the officers, and that's what I'm saying. Liddell and Candace, Judy, y'all, Candace and Liddell, no, they wrong. When y'all weaponizing the police on the residents, because what people keep forgetting. That officer fired on Art. Let me say that again.
Yeah, go ahead on.
The officer fired on Art. The officer got mad because Chester McLaughlin, if I'm saying your name wrong, I'm sorry, Chester. He was letting them know, like, you shouldn't be doing this. The officer grabbed him because he got mad because Chester was pointing at him. You mean to tell me you're going to try to snatch an elder man up and do that? And when Art went to talking to him, because like I say, I was in the back, but you can see video.
Yeah, right.
He the one threw the punch.
So what was the point of him hitting him?
Man,
you mean to tell me I can't talk to you, and just because you got a badge on, if you're wrong, you think I can't get in your shit?
That's why I believe that officer, the ones who came up there, him ought to be fired. I'm not going for
I would sue him, his mama, his daddy, the dog. You gonna get everybody on your list. What's the dog name? They filed in the lawsuit too.
Yeah.
PP filed.
Facts.
I'm on all you kids.
Yeah.
I'm on everybody. You put your hands on me because you ain't got no reason.
You incited it. You incited that. But this is what they doing is really making the residents and the police at odds with each other at council.
Right.
That's what's really is making this thing all the way weird.
And it's crazy. That's crazy. That's nuts. And you have no reason to do that because people are upset. And you mean to tell me people can't be upset? Well, then, if you don't want people to be upset, do something.
Yeah.
The most important thing is, you know what? Let me apologize. We messed up. We was focused on city business. You're lying to us. We don't care. We all like a good lie, baby. We was working on city business, and we just didn't take care of y'all. But let me come and apologize. What do we need? What do we need?
Facts.
We want to come and hey, when my part of the pie come, I need to take care of this. So we doing this over here at Brennan Park. Brennan, right? That's over there by us. Brennan Park. And we getting ready to do this. We're gonna get the grass cut. We got this Juneteenth thing coming up. We got all this other stuff coming up. And we're gonna make sure the park is clean, all this over there. And when the young people coming, they come. Oh, okay, well damn. You're doing something.
Facts. Hey, you ain't gonna tell people where they can catch you at for the Juneteenth. I heard you got something going on. You
Oh, me and brother Uper Roberts.
right. Let them know. Let them know, because I'm gonna tap in. I'll be there.
Okay, cool. I think we're doing it on the 20th. And we're going to do a kind of an enactment with the Honorable Frederick Douglass and the Honorable Malcolm X, and we're going to have some dialogue, of course, across a century or two of spiritualness, and have dialogue between those two dynamic persons that helped us in our cultural revolution. So I believe it's on the 20th. I have to check and make sure.
Let me know, because I'll be there.
Yes, sir.
And
Yes,
I'll
sir.
be at the Southside thing tomorrow.
What time is that
I
supposed to
think
be?
it's at 5.
It's at 5?
If I'm not mistaken.
Over there on Brennan? At Brennan?
Yeah, with the
Brennan Park?
Southside City of Hope.
Okay.
You know,
I'll make sure
I
I'm
support
there.
my people. I gotta
Yeah.
support this. I gotta
Yeah.
support them. I'll be there, because they doing some. You know, they part of the Juneteenth festival too.
Right.
So,
So
you know,
I'll
I'll
make
be
sure.
there.
Yeah. So if I forget, hit me.
Ah, man, listen, man. I'm gonna be tapping into a lot of things this summer. If it's here for Juneteenth or it's down in the D, I'm gonna be moving around.
Okay.
You know, I'm gonna be moving around a lot this month in June, July, August. You know,
Yeah.
get content, and like I say, we got some things coming up. Me and you got some things we trying to put together.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
You know, so I won't. You know, that's why because I had talked to Brother Roberts. I said I'm gonna be there.
Okay.
When he told
Beautiful.
me, because he was telling me about it, and I was like, "Oh no, I'll be there," because I want to, you know what I'm saying. I want my I want the bumpers to see it.
Yeah.
I want the
Cool.
family to see it. That be watching us live. I want them to see different things that's going on in Flint. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Because we can't. There's somebody that says Flint, Poison City, USA.
That's JoJo with the water. She be
And I
talking
get it,
about the
and you're
water.
right,
Yeah.
and you're right to a degree. But we're not poisoned. You know, we're not poisoned. So those of us who speak the truth and do justice the best we can, the best we know how, based upon what our ancestors have given us to study, read, and spew back forth, we ain't poisoned, baby. Okay. So I will definitely let you know at the exact date. Even if I call in or shoot you a text tomorrow in the morning.
I'll let me
Yeah.
know. Ain't no
Yep.
problem. Just let me know.
I think it's the 20th. I have to check with Brother Roberts and make sure. But I think it's going to be a treat. It's going to be nice.
Yeah, I want to come down there because I'm ready for the dialogue.
Yeah.
I want to see the perspectives, how it would be ran into these times that we at.
Right. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
You know. But any last words you got to say, brother, before we dip out?
Family, let me say this one more time. Make demands. This, like I'm telling you this as a teacher. Make demands from your children. Make demands from the teachers. But you got to be accountable to making sure that your children are doing their job. Now, let me correlate that with counsel. If they're going to be the parent, you got to make demands from the so-called leadership about what they need to do and to take place as they represent you. If they're not, it's okay to protest. Protest. It's not okay for people to put their hands on you. That's not a protest. Because this is the same tactics that they used back in the 60s where they sent dogs and water hoses and all kind of stuff during peaceful protests. I get it. I understand it. But the other part about that dude is to sit around there and if you need to, file a lawsuit. File a big federal lawsuit with a bunch of people that'll stop the stuff.
Facts.
And on that note, family, we will see you all on Sunday.
Facts.
I will let Brother Mick and Sister Winters know what date and time we're going to do this cross the world dialogue between the Honorable Frederick Douglass and the Honorable Brother Malcolm X. And we'll see y'all on Sunday, 9 o'clock.
Facts. Common sense. Thanks for tapping in. And y'all make sure we'll be on Sunday at 9 o'clock.
Yes, sir.
And Sister Talib will be on Saturday. I'll let y'all know tomorrow when I get the time right. Then we'll have another treat for y'all in the afternoon on Sunday.
All right.
And we out. Peace.